Very good morning, dear students. Dear students, today we are going to start chapter 9 of history, which is the making of the national movement 1870s to 1947. Now, children, first of all, if we talk about the previous chapter, we have looked at the different topics like how the British conquest, how they conquer some territories, and how they took over different kingdoms. Then the second was how they introduced new laws and administrative institutions were formed. Then how the lives changed of peasants and tribals. Then educational changes in the 19th century, we talked about that also. Then the debates regarding the condition of women. What was the condition of women at that time? And then the challenges for the caste system we have seen. Social and religious reforms we have seen. We have talked about the revolt of 1857 and its result. Fine, the consequences we can say, and then the decline of craft and the growth of industries. Now, children, on the basis of all these, whatever we have read about the different issues, now Indians, all these issues, they showed that the Indians were not happy, not satisfied with the British rule. And if so, then how the different groups and the classes, how they were dissatisfied, and what actually they were doing for all this. Fine. Now, the first topic is, children, the emergence of nationalism. Fine. Now, see the above mentioned developments, all the developments, they all led the people to ask us very important question, crucial question, and that was, what is this country of India, and for whom it is meant. This question arose that the country India is for whom. Now the answer, it gradually emerged. Now people of India. Now they said India was for the people of India. So all those people, irrespective of their caste, color, creed, language, whatever gender they are, the India, the country, it belongs to them, those who are living in that country. Moreover, its resources, its systems, they all were meant for all these people. Now with this answer, there was awareness among the people about the British, that British, they were exercising control over the resources of India and the lives of its people also. So, until and unless this control will not end, India cannot be for Indians. If you say that India is yours, you have to throw the people, the outsiders out from India. So this consciousness began to be clearly stated by the political associations. Now, different political associations were formed after 1850, especially those they came into being in the 1870s and 1880s. Most of these were led by English educated professionals such as lawyers. They were educated in English language. Fine, the more important ones were Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, the Indian Association, the Madras Mahajan Sabha, the Bombay Presidency Association, and of course the Indian National Congress. So these were the different political associations. Now, see, if you talk about Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, sorry, it literally means Sarvajanik means which is for all the people of, and or for all the people, and Sarva means all, Janik means of the people. So though many of these associations, they functioned in different parts, on particular part of our country, and their goals were also stated as the goals of all the people of India. Their goals were for all the people of India. Fine. Not those of any religion or any one community or any one class. It is for all together, for all Indians. Now they had one idea. And what was that idea? People should be sovereign. So, what do you mean by sovereign? The capacity to act independently without outside interference, means there should not be any outside interference. For so children, a modern consciousness and a key feature of nationalism was sovereign. Fine. In other words, we can say that the Indian people should be empowered to take decisions regarding their affairs, means they should be independent of all these. Nobody else should control them, which the Britishers were already doing. Now this dissatisfaction with the British rule, they intensified in 1817s and 1880s. So it you can say that it was at a peak at this time. The Arms Act was passed in 1878, which disallowed Indians from possessing any sort of arms. In the same year, children, the Vernacular Press Act was also enacted in an effort to silence those who were critical for the government. So two acts were passed in against the that was against the Indians, and that was in favor of British. First was that you cannot possess any sort of arms. Second was even press was not open for all. The act allowed the government confiscate the assets of newspaper, including their printing presses, if the newspaper published anything that was found objectionable. So these printing presses, they cannot print anything which is not in the favor of the government. Fine. In 1883, children, there was a furor over the attempt by the government to introduce the Ilbert Bill. Now the third thing was Ilbert Bill. For that also there was some problem. The bill provided for the trial for British or European persons by Indians. Fine, and sought equality between British and Indian judges in the country. So what was this bill? That the trial of British or European persons, that was done by Indians. Fine. So here this bill said that the British and Indian judges, they should be equal. But children, this bill was opposed by the white people. The white opposition, they forced the government, they oppose it in such a way that the government has to withdraw the bill. And the Indians were really uh, sad for all this. They saw that how these people, they are not in favor of the Indians. The event highlighted the racial attitudes of the British in India. Fine. So what was the attitude of British in India? They showed that. Fine. The need for all the need for an all India organization of educated Indians had been felt since 1880. So they required an association of all the educated Indians. Fine. Now see, but this Ilbert Bill, it was a controversy. Finds that deepened this desire. Desire was already there, but because of the Ilbert Bill, this desire was deepened. Fine. Now the Indian National Congress, it was established when 72 delegates from all over the country, they met at Bombay in December 1885. Now who the early leadership was under the Dadabhai Naroji, Firoz Shah Mehta, then Badruddin Tyabji, W.C. Banerjee, Surendranath Banerjee, Romesh Chandra Dutt, S. Subramanya Iyer, and many more. Fine. So they were all largely from Bombay and Calcutta. Naroji was a businessman and a publicist also who was settled in London. Now, what is a publicist? Publicist is someone who publicizes an idea by circulate. An idea is publicized. It is given to all the people by circulating information. They circulate the information by writing reports, by speaking at meetings and all. Fine. Then after that, children, uh, and for a time member of the British Parliament also. We are talking about Dadabhai Naroji. He was a businessman, he was a publicist, and for a time he was a member of, British Parliament as well. Guided the younger nationalists. Now he was the one who guided the younger nationalist. Fine. Now a retired British official, A.O. Hume, and he also played, a very important part in bringing the Indians from various regions together. From Indians from all the regions together, they, took part in this. Fine. So after that, children, we will talk about a nation in the making. Fine. So that we will discuss in the next module.